A gross misconduct hearing has been held this week, which found that now former Metropolitan Police Constable Samantha Lee was proven to have committed misconduct in that she provided misleading information to the IOPC during investigation and failed to investigate allegations surrounding murderer ex-cop Wayne Couzens on at least one occasion where he exposed himself. PC Samantha Lee, you might remember, was reported on this channel before in November 2022, where she resigned before facing a misconduct hearing for being a bit of a slut. In the information back then, she was called PC Sam Helena, but now is being called Sam Lee, so she could be Samantha Helena Lee, Samantha Lee Helena, or she could have been married and is no longer, or could have not been married but now is. I've been unable to find out that information. The one thing that has remained consistent is the fact that she is still being referred to as Officer Naughty, which is her Onlyfans page name. Clearly her mind was on the wrong kind of job at the time of her investigating Wayne Couzens, or maybe he was an Onlyfans customer of hers. Couzens was accused of exposing himself at a McDonald's staff member at a McDonald's restaurant in Swanley, Kent on February the 14th and February the 27th, 2021. Lee attended the restaurant on March the 3rd and interviewed the manager, apparently just hours before Sarah Everard was taken from the street, degraded and murdered by Couzens. When she was later spoken to by the IOPC, she claims that she believed that CCTV at the restaurant was deleted automatically, so there would be no footage of Couzens or of the offence. However, it would appear that footage hadn't been deleted, and a check of the footage would have revealed that Couzens was the registered keeper of the vehicle. Lee had told the misconduct hearing that she did not know that she was in charge of the case and went on leave after her visit, simply assuming someone else would check it out in a few days. Well, that's what she told the hearing. She said she'd been shocked after Ms. Everard's murder to learn she had responsibility for investigating Couzens' earlier offences. Officer Naughty denied being lazy, and she was accused of a rushed investigation and failing to gather the CCTV footage after spending just 15 minutes investigating the incident. However, the panel did find that her dishonesty amounted to gross misconduct, and had she still been serving, she would have been dismissed. Not that I'm sure she cares, she probably makes far more money getting her coochie out on the internet. Interestingly, the McDonald's manager told the hearing in evidence that he actually showed Lee the footage of Couzens and told her it could be downloaded, and also said that the registration number was clearly visible on footage of the second incident, but Lee claimed he was lying. Unfortunately for Lee, the panel found that the McDonald's manager was a credible witness and they believed his evidence over hers. In her evidence, Lee admitted that she did make some errors, but said nothing she could have done would have changed the tragic outcome of what happened to Sarah Everard later that day. She said, "I accept that I could have done more around CCTV and evidence gathering. That was errors on my part, and I accept that. And as much as I've thought it over and over, I don't believe that anything I could have done would have changed the tragic outcome of what happened later that day." Due to the fact that Lee had already resigned prior to a previous misconduct hearing, this one seems a bit of a waste of time and money if they weren't going to bring some criminal charges against her, seeing as her failures could have directly stopped Couzens from what he went on to do that day. Again, I doubt very much that she's bothered at all with her new career as an internet slut. It has been reported also that 3 other police officers from the Met, this time 2 probationary plod and 1 PC, have also been reprimanded this week after they shared an inappropriate image online regarding the murder of Sarah Everard. However, there is very little information that I can find regarding this incident other than the 2 probationary plod were found to have breached the standards required of professional behaviour. 1 has since resigned from the force, and that the 3rd PC has had reflective practice. In other words, go sit in a corner and think about what you've done. Deputy Assistant Commissioner Stuart Cundy said the graphic was insensitive, inappropriate and deeply hurtful. The thoughtless, unkind actions of the 2 officers who shared the graphic are incredibly disappointing, and they let everyone down with their behaviour. Thankfully, colleagues who received the images were disgusted and promptly reported their concerns to the Met's Directorate of Professional Standards, who made an immediate referral to the IOPC. They added, officers and staff are regularly reminded of their responsibilities regarding use of social media and are expected to uphold high standards. I am clear that any alleged wrongdoing reported to us will be thoroughly investigated and appropriate action taken. In a separate investigation in May 2022, the IOPC found a case to answer for misconduct against a Kent police sergeant for failing to follow all reasonable lines of inquiry after it was reported that a motorist had indecently exposed himself to a pedestrian in 2015. However, I've been unable to find out at the moment whether that particular sergeant has actually faced a misconduct hearing or not, so I will keep an eye out for that and see if I can find more information, which I'll bring to you as soon as I can.